Ganesh Natarajan, like I said, executive and former CEO of Zensar Tech, comes in on the show. Thanks, Mr. Natarajan, for joining in. But there is uncertainty due to the new notification on visas. What do you think is the impact for Indian IT companies?
What it implies is that if you look at last year, for instance, close to 60,000 or thereabouts H-1B visas were granted in the lottery. And assuming that, I mean, the $100,000 tax is valid and the 60,000 less day comes down substantially to maybe 10,000 or 12,000. So potentially there is a loss of 50,000 people multiplied by, let's assume they would have been billing at $200,000 a year. So there's a significant potential loss. Of course, you could replace that by doing work offshore. You could replace that by employing people locally and filling those positions there. But I'm just saying there is a certain amount of concern that companies will have, and they will have to scramble. They'll have to figure out how to cope with that situation.
Okay. So what is it, do you think, that the Indian IT companies can do as an alternative for this? I mean, the onshore offshore makes. Do GCCs, Mr. Natarajan, come up as a big alternative? Because a lot of notes are talking about that as well.
No, you're right. I mean, there are two mitigating opportunities. One is, of course, to hire locally or hire people who are already on H-1B. The second is, as you rightly said, whether GCCs or our own offshore centers to do that. But it is a rebalancing of the model, and it needs the client's approval, first of all. It also needs a certain amount of rethinking on the strategy of how do you approach a client, what do you offer, etc. So it's not easy, but yes, if push comes to shove, I'm sure people will make it happen over the next 2 years. So the industry is very resilient. So I think there are many crises that we've been through in the last 40, 50 years. So we will figure out ways, but it is any kind of change in the circumstance will create some temporary dislocation.
Fair call, understandably. Okay, and you know, Ganesh Natarajan has been there, done that, right? Head of NASSCOM as well, so kind of knows the impact. I mean, there is a near-term impact for sure, but I think as most companies have said, and as he said as well, I think this is something that can be tided over. Maybe a top-line hit, because if the onshore work goes down, you get that top-line hit, but certainly not a very big margin.